I'll be real with you guys, I've never used Adobe Premiere, so this is like, honestly, like landing in a different country where maybe like 5 people speak English, and the fact that I was trying to figure out how to edit this video at like 3:30 in the morning definitely didn't help me any, because I'm sitting there like, how does this translate to Vegas whatsoever? But you're probably wondering, why did you switch up all of a sudden? I heard from a bunch of people that it actually cooperates with my equipment better, and it gives me better rendering time. So here I am, like, trying to figure out just completely, the new lay of the land, the new everything. It's very strange to me. It's kind of like trying to ride a bike, but the seat is actually attached to your foot, and the handlebars are attached to your chest, and all of a sudden, your back tire is your grandma. Grandma, you need to get out of there. I don't know what's going on. But I do know what we have here is we just have a regular-ass game. I took this from my stream, what was it, yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty good stream. Got some good games, got a decent amount of viewers. That is something I do, so you can pay attention to all the social media at the bottom of the description there, which includes my live stream where I do games like this, so... But the cool part about this is this one was not your everyday ordinary thing. It kind of happens once or twice per stream, but usually I'll set aside a team, and then it'll be like an arcade cabinet where somebody literally just jumps in on Festival Plaza and accepts. And because sometimes people won't give me their in-game trainer names, it's like, well, sometimes they jump in. Oh, huge shout out to Vec and Lex Play on Discord for linking me to the Versus Recorder modding thing. Super cool. This was one of the valid background combinations I found, and this is the Aether Foundation, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. This seems pretty cool. So if you're looking at my team, you're wondering, what's your angle here? I don't have an angle. Literally, I just pick like 6 things and just put them together. So, on top of that, looking at his team, he doesn't really seem to have much either. I mean, he's got a lead Necrozma. This thing's going to go for rocks. We already know how this works. And it seems like, he didn't taunt or anything. And I know these things run Dark Pulse because I actually run Dark Pulse on mine myself. So I was kind of scared of taking that at first, but I figured on first turn, he would want to get rocks up before anything else. And it turns out, that's all it does. It just gets rocks up. So if that were my Necrozma, I probably would have switched out to something else. But maybe he just didn't really have a safe switch out. So I actually decided to switch out here because I don't feel like taking a Life Orb Sucker Punch if that is a thing. I probably could have taken him out in hindsight with a Meteor Mash followed up by a Bullet Punch. But I figured I would just go straight into my Salazzle to dodge the Sucker Punch. Initially, but it turns out he just ends up going for Swords Dance in my face. So maybe he thought I was going to overthink that, and if that's what he thought, then congratulations, sir, you are very correct. But I decided to go into my Toxapex now because now I want to dodge a Sucker Punch. I've shown him 2 things that are faster than me that can definitely, switch in, kind of ruin stuff on him. So if he has it, he's got to show it, he's got to try, he's got to go for it. But turns out he really just doesn't like Toxapex to the point where he's actually willing to risk, or where he just throws away his +2 and he goes into Tapu Lele because, well, screw Toxapex. And you know what? If it was a Toxapex on the other side and I had a Lele, and it was this early in the game, I'd be pretty inclined to do the same thing. I just maybe would have gone about it a different way, maybe tried to hit me at least once or something just to kind of scat out, see what kind of set I was. Because that was a pretty aggressive bluff on my behalf. I'm a special defensive, so I don't know how well I would have taken a Leaf Blade or a Spirit Shackle or whatever he has going on. But the way I've seen him play so far, I've played like this every now and then where it's just very straightforward, not really any other kind of battle plan, just kind of going for, the obvious plays. We've all done it before. We autopod from time to time. So I figure, what, he's probably not going to go for Shadow Ball. I'm just going to go ahead and go into Mega Metagross. It is going to hurt a decent amount because it is Psychic terrain, but I do ×4 resist it, and I've got a decent amount of bulk, so I'll see how well I take it. I don't take as well as I wanted to, but it's all right. On top of that, I get the Attack Raise on the Switch, which is always really cool, especially when he has Mega Scizor. I'm not sure if he's a defensive one at this point in the game, but I figure, you know what, I might as well try to go for a Hammer Arm to see how much damage that does. And it turns out it actually does a butt ton of damage. I wasn't paying attention to how much it was doing in the game, especially on this turn. This turn was a very important turn for me to actually pay attention to that damage, because I think if I had gone for one more Hammer Arm, actually, you know what? I don't know. That could have been a roll, looking at it now in this narration again. I guess in my mind I was thinking that I did like 55, 60% or something, but it turns out I did like right around 50, so who's to say? It's kind of whatever. But he's gonna go ahead and roost. I'm actually going out in my physical wall right now. That was the main reason I was also scared of Decidueye. I didn't really touch on that, but my physical wall in this game is a Mudsdale. This is a rest-talking Mudsdale with Heavy Slam and Earthquake, so it works out okay if you can get stamina up, but if you can't, then, you know, like in the case of Decidueye, where it just knocks you out with the Leaf Blade, that's not something you really want to be worried about, or you really want to be worrying about. You'd rather do something else. So I go for a Heavy Slam predicting the switch because I don't think he's going to want to stay in. And it turns out he actually brings in the damn thing. So I was like, okay, well, if he's going to go for SD, I'm actually just going to go ahead and go for another Heavy Slam again to get some damage off, because I would really like to be able to get to the point where I can take this thing out with a Bullet Punch from Mega Metagross, or because that'll be one of the only ways I can out-prioritize Sucker Punch, as long as he's in range, and I think he's in range from there. But turns out he is actually Decidueye Z, I think is the name of that Z crystal thing, and we get to see a Sinister Aero Raid, which I hadn't. This is the first time I've seen it on Wi-Fi, and looks really freaking cool, let me tell you. On top of that, let's keep in mind that I am an impish max HP, max defense Mudsdale. That crit, according to a damage calc I got from somebody in my Tumblr the next day, shout out to the Wonder Doc, that crit did not matter. That was doing 100 to 125, or 100 to like 112%, I think were my rolls or something like that. The minimum was 100 for sure. He definitely, he was guaranteed to knock me out, which was kind of scary, that he can just plow through my physical wall like that after one Swords Dance with no Life Orb or anything like that. Z-moves are a really cool mechanic that I'd been sleeping on until the stream yesterday, and I actually got to use some really cool things with them, some cool Z-moves. I don't think I used any in this game, but that's for a later day. So where do we touch base on from there? So I killed that thing out, and then he brought in the Scizor. And then I decided that I didn't like the matchup since I didn't have the attack raise, and then it turns out he actually goes out into his, or I go out into my Toxapex, you know, kind of bluffing again that I might be physically defensive, and it turns out he's actually Swords Dance U-turn. I see this from time to time. I don't understand the merit behind it too much. I guess if you can't Bullet Punch, then you get a boosted U-turn out. I don't know. I like running Bug Bite. Just me, I guess. I don't know. Sorry if that's weird, but it's okay. This is actually a pretty good switch into this because I actually do have Baneful Bunker on this one, and it turns out I can't really even use it just because, you know, even if he taps the Baneful Bunker, it's not going to do anything. But I wanted to scout out his set. I wanted to see what he was going to do, if he was going to U-turn, or if he was going to Earthquake. I knew like I said, I knew it wasn't going to do anything, but if I can get that information, it'd be nice. And it turns out he actually does have Earthquake, and he has Wish, so I'm thinking he's probably more of a support set, which is like, maybe, I don't know, Wish Protect, Rapid, or maybe Wish Return, Earthquake, and Rapid Spin is what I'm thinking, with no Protect, or something along those lines, or maybe just doesn't have Return, he's Wish Protect, Rapid Spin, Earthquake. That could be a thing too. Thing's got a decent amount of attack. But I'm going to go for Toxic Spikes right there on that turn. And I have Regenerator, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus, I've seen Earthquake. I don't think he's going to have Rock Slide or Wood Hammer on this set. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into my Archeops, which is something I did actually happen to bring. Despite the fact that it is the inferior Rock Flying, I still do love seeing Archeops. And this is the one, pretty much the one only thing it does. The freaking Komala gets blown the shit back by Head Smash. And I do have Endeavor on this thing. But he did have Scizor around with Bullet Punch, so like I said, that's going to be the only thing it does, especially because he still has Rocks up, and I don't believe I have any form of hazard control on this team, so it's better just let Archeops go there. It happens, but it's whatever. From here, I decided to go into my Salazzle directly, because even if he Bullet Punches from that range, I don't think he's going to be able to knock me out from there, or if he is, it's going to be pretty close. Right here, I think I might have predicted it. Yes, I did. I did, as a matter of fact. Knew he wasn't wanting to take a flamethrower. I went for a Sludge Bomb instead, I believe. I'm pretty sure I did. Please tell me I did. No, I didn't. I went straight for the play. I did. I was thinking it. I remember how positively I was thinking that I wanted to do it. But I guess this kind of works out too, because he was poisoned from the Toxic Spikes, and I guess I can take advantage of that. Oh no, wait, I'm still faster. That's right. That was a scary turn. I don't know why I decided to chance that. He definitely could have just been scarfed, and then I wouldn't have had an answer for Scizor whatsoever. So that's crazy me for doing that. But it turns out I'm actually pretty rewarded in this next turn, because he forgets about Psychic Terrain and tries to Bullet Punch me under it. But it turns out that ain't working, muchacho. No priority moves here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Flamethrower with Scizor, and that is one big threat off the table with my Salazzle. So that's the only thing my Salazzle had to do this game, which is knock out, you know, big steel threat, and worked out pretty damn well. So, I believe his last one is a OHKO, and you know what? It doesn't really matter what happens from here, as long as I can get a good hit off. And it turns out I do have the Dragon Pulse, so I might as well just go for that, see how much it does. He did switch in on Toxic Spike, so he's on a timer, and I have a decent amount of Pokemon left, so I'm still feeling pretty good about the position that I'm in. Even if he takes me out right now with a, you know, whatever he wants to. It turns out he's a special variant with Clanging Scales. Probably, I would assume that's a little excessive. I think he could have gone for, I don't know. Well, maybe he had to? I don't know. Maybe Flamethrower. I feel like Flamethrower might have taken me out from there, so I'm kind of fragile. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking that. Going to Decidueye, my own Decidueye here. Naturally, my Decidueye is not going to be as successful as his Decidueye, because this thing just gets immediately bopped. I thought it was going to be a little bit faster. I thought I was running speed. But I guess I am, or I'm not, or if I am, I'm a little slower. I think OHKO might be. OHKO's got to be a little bit faster than me naturally, so that just gets more poison damage up, and it also wears off the Psychic Terrain. So maybe it did that on purpose. I don't remember what the hell past me was thinking, but now that the Psychic Terrain is gone, I can just go ahead and go for a Bullet Punch. And I guess my main reason for that was not wanting to miss with Meteor Mash or Hammer Arm or Zen Headbutt. I don't have Earthquake on the set, but I guess, yeah, that was it. Let's go with that for my main reasoning there. So that's the game. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. I have a few more games from the stream. I'm really excited to get to edit them and render them and do all this stuff again. It's really cool just getting back into the whole swing of things. And, you know, as soon as I familiarize myself more with the software, I'll be able to get you guys more sooner. But for now, I'm pretty happy where things are, and I hope you guys are too. So until my next stream or video, I will catch you guys then.